there is no joy ahead for Barcelona fans. As it stands, I'll correct you now. Barcelona is in such a, permit me to say this, in such a shitty position right now in this whole financial situation that they will lose Olmo and they will still pay him to 2030.
30, yeah, I saw that thing.
I said this situation is so bad that like it is horrible, and it makes sense because I was looking at apparently 2 of Barcelona's directors out of the 20 have resigned. The first one was the chief executive that resigned in 2022 when the whole fuckery started. The second one was the economic vice president. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And on behalf of the Sports Lounge, I want to wish you a happy new year. Joy is coming, joy is around the corner, but it's not for some people. I'm talking about Manchester United and Barcelona.
Oh, what?
So if you're a Manchester United and Barcelona fan, it's looking very bleak for you. But don't worry, there'll be more on those conversations. This is the Sports Lounge, where we embody the lifestyle, spirit, and banter of sports fans all over. My name is Abiola Oluwatomyowa. I've been dubbed by the gods of enjoyment as the babiest of boys. And joining with me in the studio are my main man, my right-hand man. One of the reasons why all of this has been possible. Two Bams. How you doing, Maji?
Mama, it be like saying that every week we my fans they see
Shege, bro.
Because, I mean, last week we're talking about United being sad. This week, same thing. Next week, Arsenal in the FA Cup, same thing. But yeah, man, it's good to be back and talking at least with 3 of the OG squad. We've not had this in a very long time.
It's an original lineup.
Do you get
I like it.
We've not had this in a very long time, so it's great to be here. Happy New Year to you guys, man.
Happy New Year, my G. Speaking of the OG lineup, to my left, I have one of the... So you're not an Arsenal fan anymore, are you?
No, I'm not. See,
so I've been telling this.
See, I don't see Shege with Arsenal. You don't move, go Chelsea.
I beg, Bamji, tell me the 3-step verification. We do not accept your change of club yet.
So that 3 steps to change club in the TSL community. 3 steps to change club in the TSL community. First of all, you need to get your affidavit from the High Court in around the Keja. You get it first. Then 2, you also post on your status claiming that London is blue.
I've done that, man.
And then Kopama is king.
I've done
Then
that.
finally must buy an original Chelsea jersey in the space of 3 months. So accept that change.
Definitely. That will be done.
Okay.
So we shall revisit this.
Public. Yeah, of course. Of course.
So where to public? Yeah. We shall revisit
I'll wear it on the show.
We shall revisit this in 3 months. How are you doing, Tommy? How's the holiday been?
Yeah, we thank God that it wasn't really a holiday, but at least I rested a bit, saw family. But now we're back to work, man.
Okay, man, nice one. That's good. A family man, I love that. If I don't how far you know, Oble King, Oble delayed. It's not Oble denied.
As I come to studio this morning, I see Fedo too for waiting on that club for.
There are plenty of people that look like me in Lagos.
Now this same jacket.
Definitely not me.
Fedo, how you doing? How about
I'll be good. Some of us didn't get break. We walked all through the holidays.
So how are you balancing it? Work, Oble?
Apart from the public holidays, we got the public holidays, but we spoke about this last week now. Once you work in financial services, no break for you that you work all through. But we found a way around it. Small enjoyment here, small family time. I mean, that's what Christmas is for now, Shay.
Yeah.
12 seconds on this set. 12 seconds is what it took for first 3 bullets. Man United. So we're in for a long ride in 2025.
Yeah, it's about to
Can't
be.
wait, yeah.
It's about to be pretty interesting. Men in finance, bundle on bundle is not easy. Anyway, Sha, today we have a bunch of interesting topics. The transfer market is open, and we're going to have some conversations around that. Which player needs what club needs which player, how we're going to improve the teams. Like I mentioned earlier, we're also going to discuss Manchester United's horrible decline. The interview lately was talking about Amorim came and opened his own mouth. Like I said, there is really looking like there's no joy for Manchester United fans this season. He opened his own mouth and said relegation is a possibility. I would like you guys to talk about that. So just keep that in mind. Then we're also going to discuss the Barcelona woes. What is going on? The good thing is that we have men in finance, so maybe they can help us break it down. Because I don't understand how you're about to lose your star player that you spent, your marquee player that you spent 51 million euros on. And you're also about to lose, if you don't know what I'm talking about Dani Olmo. But more of that later. So now the transfer window is about to open. There's a lot of buzz going around. We have the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold being linked to Liverpool. I'm sorry, being linked to Real Madrid. We have some other things going on. What do you guys think? Like, I want you guys to go around and pick a club and pick a player that you feel like would complete that club and give them that sort of je ne sais quoi. You understand? So what do you guys think? If I think you should start. Mention a club that you think is performing, a club that you're rooting for right now, and the player that you feel they need.
So the thing about January window is more often than not, what you need is a short-term fix. You're not looking like to...
When are we going to stop saying that? I'm sorry to cut you.
But that's what it is.
Hold on. There are some people that need long-term fix.
No, definitely.
So the window could be what you want at this particular point in time.
So this is what I mean. If you have a project, sometimes if it's not working, you have to dismantle the whole thing.
Exactly.
Right? Sometimes you just have to plug and fix, right? To like elevate the levels that you are on.
Yeah.
Now, what I mean is typically what people do when people scatter and everything and start again is in the summer where you have
more time.
Pre-season, all those type of things to bed it in.
Yeah.
Right? But in January, you probably don't have that time. It's the person has to be straight up to speed. So you're mostly looking for people that are maybe like in relegation battles, people that need maybe like goals in their squad. You're looking at people that need maybe the defenses have been leaking. They need maybe like a new goalkeeper, something that just elevates them. But I'm thinking, right, one of the teams that probably need is signing the most this summer window is Man City, and what they need is a second striker. The way Man City have been minus their form and all of that. I know we've said a lot about them, but there are no goals in that squad. If Ballon doesn't score, they're in big trouble.
I have a question now.
About Alvarez.
Yeah, aside from Alvarez, no. You're saying they need a second striker, but according to the analysis and the numbers, Man City's decline started when they lost a defensive midfielder.
So it's two ways around it. I'm not going to discredit Rodri and losing all of that. Now I'm saying if you look at most of the games that they've failed to pick up points, once Haaland doesn't score, they're a lot blunt. And once they're blunt, it's easy for people to attack them. Yeah. Nobody is really scared of them anymore. Now, if you have an Haaland that is not playing so well, by 60, 65, you could have added Alvarez as at last season. Sure. Nowadays, Haaland is going to play 90 minutes. It's not going to do anything. Nobody's going to take him off. There is no backup plan. There's no whatever. All the changes are going to be around him. So if you look for a way that you can change the dimension of your attack, instead of going all through, you can have maybe it's supporting like just two people. The way Alan and Alvarez used to bomb people, right? I mean, it works for them that Foden is fit now. De Bruyne is fit now and all of that. But those guys are around the striker. They're not strikers. So it pays them if they can go to market, get a short-term fix. It doesn't have to be the best player in the world, right? We saw how, someone like same Alvarez, De Bruyne from Argentina, came in, did a very good job as number 2 striker. Yeah. Alan got injured a couple of times the last 2 seasons.
He picked up.
Do you understand? So they need to go to the markets. They pay their scouts. I'm not going to call names. There are a lot of interesting strikers in Europe that they can pick up at this point in time. But yeah, that's why and I feel like if City get on a good run of games, maybe 2-3 wins, they start to believe again. Yeah. So City that believe.
I need to ask you, yeah. I mean, we know City can spend the money. But especially with the sale of Alvarez, I think they've relaxed a bit the PSR and all of that. So hypothetically, if they could sign one person, are you telling me that it's a striker they should sign instead of?
I'm questioning
because
that
one, we've seen City do well without a striker when Aguero went injured. We see them do well even without De Bruyne. But one thing that they've always tried to have or managed to have is
building
it up.
I'm not again, like I said, I'm not going to discredit what you guys are saying. What may I just see in that City side is they have names, they have good players, they have substitutes. Minus the injury of Rodri, they've been very, very injuries have been very unfair to them, right? So they probably haven't played the same back four in like a month or so. They keep on chopping and changing. Now, this getting a striker is mostly hinged on the hope or possibility of like a stable back four first. If the back four is stable, if they have, even if it's
Kovacic,
Diaz, Ake, Guardiola, and Luis Walker, anybody, those guys are available for like a shop. In fact, they've even chopped and changed goalkeepers. They've used Ederson to Ortega. If there can be some sort of stability, right, I feel like they'll do better. They're not bad. Those guys they're not bad players. Kovacic can do a job. Gundogan has lost his legs, right? I mean, there's no two ways about that. But Kovacic can do a job. Bernardo can do a job in midfield. We've seen that a number of times. KDB is back, like we said already. So I'm just looking at it from the angle that people can step up in these positions up front. Nobody can
I have
step
a
up.
question. Aside from that, all the positions you mentioned, none of them are DMs.
I called
All of them are
Kovacic.
makeshift DMs. Kovacic is a CM.
So, the way City play-
What do we used to call Kovacic that time? Back pass merchant or side pass
Kovacic
merchant?
doesn't play back pass.
He's not a back
Kovacic
pass
is one of the best ball carriers in the league, if we're being honest about it.
But I'm talking about his defensive prowess now.
Now, the way City play, City have 65-70% of the ball. If City use the ball well, if City do damage to opponents, there's a limited barrage that they will face.
True.
If they do their portion well, people really attack City because you're scared of what they can do to you.
Tell me what
If you can attack them proper, if City can build their attack, Grealish, Doku, Savio combined probably have 3 goals or 4 goals in the league this season. What are you going to do with that? Where are you going to get with that? They just need to add goals to their squad or an attacking threat.
Do you agree?
So-
that a striker is more important than a defensive midfielder right now for Man City?
Before he started, my go-to team was City, and the player I wanted for them was Bruno G, Newcastle's captain.
In January,
In January,
it'll be very tough, Sha, bro.
If there's anybody that can do it,
It's not impossible. It's not impossible, man.
Spend the money. But then, hearing his explanation, he has valid points. So for me, I just think that they are terrible defending in transition. Aside not scoring. So it's 2 ways. Because they don't have a linchpin in the middle, it feels like when teams run at them at every opportunity, it looks so easy to run at City.
yeah.
exactly.
But then again, if you are scoring a lot, you might not necessarily get. I think it was Fergie's last season. Was it Fergie's last season where he was beating everybody 4-1, 4-2, 4-3? He didn't really care if you ran at him. I'll try to score with Van Persie and Rooney and I'll beat you. And if City scores you 2-3, you've lost that game. So we see the City games are happening now. It's not like City don't score, then the other team gets momentum and then scores City, and then City is. See that Everton game, Everton would have won that game. Not because City was not defending well or what, no, but because City did not put more than 1 goal past them. So why his point is valid is that if City score more goals, nobody can stop them. But then again, also, I still think that whatever Pep is trying to do with Gundogan and Kovacic, he needs to understand what is like. He needs to.
I heard Gundogan that is an
He's over. I think he's overdoing it because you could tell that if John Stones is fit, rather just put him as a DM.
So again, my point was mostly
Then Rico
into the
Lewis
fact
is
that
a defensive liability also.
Yeah,
Then you're
we have
asking, then you're
options.
putting him in the mid. So there's a lot of boys. Pep, if anybody can
who's his
perform,
second striker?
they don't. He's Divine Mubama,
There's nobody.
an 18-year-old or 17-year-old striker that they bought from West Ham after selling Delap. So those, if they had a Delap on the bench, as he said, if they had a Delap on the bench,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they were bringing him in
They'll
right now.
Bring some
You could imagine having Delap and Haaland in the box and asking
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne and Savio to be loading. Like, so I get his point, but I just think with the current setup now, if you have a Bruno G there, it's a lot more stable. That's even if you are chopping and changing your center halves. So far, there's somebody who is permanently just in the front to just keep everything under. With Rodri, they were playing Ake and Diaz today, Stones and Akonji tomorrow, and nobody really cared.
because
They were changing everything, and nobody really cared because Rodri was always there.
Yeah.
But right now, there's nobody always there. So, in as much as this point is valid, but I just think Bruno G would have been a better option.
Yeah, if you make it Bruno G,
G,
then it's a lot. Like I said,
He elevates your
it's
team.
supposed to be short-term fixes, but Bruno G is even someone that when Rodri comes back, they can play together. So that's like a long-term.
And you can have a folding, if KDB, you
that
can have a
can
folding in
work.
front of the two of them.
That
And
can
you
work.
know,
I just feel like for them to rescue their season, they should go and look for goals.
All right, let's go to Manchester's neighbour, Man United.
The entire team.
I believe Man United need 3 players. They need God the Father, God the Holy Spirit. But I'm just kidding. Well, the team I would really like to talk about is Arsenal. So I know Tommy will not like to hear this because he thinks I always pick on Arsenal a lot. But the truth
No,
is,
Tommy's
really
not an
care.
Arsenal fan anymore.
I don't really
I
care.
thought-
let's be honest. He has not, has he gotten- he has not finished.
He's still pending.
the 3
Oh yeah, he's still pending.
qualification.
He's still pending.
He believes I always pick on Arsenal a lot. And the only reason why I do that is, look here, I really feel like, why shouldn't you get to the point where you should win the league? It's right now that City is messing up. So if what you need to do is just lock in for the next 3-4 months and take it to Liverpool, why not do that? And what would help you do that? Saka is injured now. Yeah, I can hear a lot of Arsenal fans already saying, Waneri. I said, Flavor new album. But even though the boy is good, they need to get into the market for the same person I was talking about at the start of the season, if you guys remember, that Arsenal needs someone who is going to say, no, man, my team is not losing today. Where in a game where it's 0-0 at 78 minutes, and you just say, nah, man, I'm going to take the ball and shoot from 30 yards, and his ball is going to go in. I don't know where you get that player from. But, and like, if I was to say, maybe it might be hard to get in January. But if Arsenal is serious about saying, okay, one team has been stopping me from winning the league in the past 2 years, and that team is not here anymore.
Why are you letting another person
It's someone that just came from anywhere.
How far is City from Arsenal? I'm very curious. Is it up to 5 points?
As at now, is it 5 points?
I think it's more.
It's more.
It's more than 5 points.
Arsenal City. I don't think it's up to 5.
I think it's more.
But the fact is that as it stands right now,
Yeah.
they're on top.
5 points is very, very,
I hear
very.
you, but at the
Thank
It's
you.
8 points. It's more than points. It's more than.
The gap is
8 points is somewhat able. Arsenal have lost 8 points to City in the last 2 years.
fair enough. But at the same time, it's really going to be painful to them that
Of course.
City is not.
I'm just being
another
mischievous,
team.
don't mind.
I know. Another team is currently top. So, one, go for Ademola Lookman.
no, Isaac.
Go for Isak. Go for anybody that is going to give you that X factor to try and catch up.
I
like the idea of Lookman.
I think they should go for Dani Olmo. Or they're already going for Dani Olmo.
Honestly, that is another. That's another player.
They don't give them an option.
Before we get to Umo,
That's not
there's
what we
just about the Spanish stuff that if they cannot register him, he cannot play
we're
anywhere.
still getting there. Don't worry.
No, if they don't register, if Barcelona don't register him, he can't play
No,
anywhere.
he cannot.
No, he can't.
No,
No.
he can't. No, yeah, no. He can't.
I just saw something.
He can't-
You know what?
He can't
You know
cancel
what?
his contract
I like
until
this.
2030.
I like this.
This is about
No,
2030.
no,
Yeah.
Tommy, I like this. So now, like I said earlier, there is no joy ahead for Barcelona fans. As it stands, I'll correct you now. Barcelona is in such a, permit me to say this, in such a shitty position right now in this whole financial situation that they will lose Olmo and they will still pay him to 2030.
30, yeah, I saw that thing.
Do you understand?
They'll lose more and they'll pay him to 2030. So, but I don't think he can cancel his contract too. So that means he cannot play anywhere.
No, so no. Now let me explain. Let me. I sat down. I've been for the real OGs of TSL, you know that we've been having this conversation even before Laporte came into. When was not this fraud before him?
Bartomeu.
Yeah.
Sandro, those are the
Bartomeu.
Bartomeu was the biggest. Was the biggest one out of all of
Is it
them.
the guy that we saw in Squid Game?
Yeah, that.
They are criminals, all of them.
Even Laporte that we thought was the noble knight in shining armor. Apparently, Olmo himself getting home for body. So now this is what's going on. Due to like the Spanish financial whatnot, the only way they were able to register Dani Olmo and Victor Pau was because of Anderson's injury, 6 months injury.
Christensen and somebody. There were 2 injuries.
Yeah,
Casado.
No,
Not Casado, the guy. Bernal, yeah. So
Bernal is a kid, so he wasn't registered. I can't remember the second person. There were 2 injuries.
there are 2 injuries.
Araujo.
Araujo. Now
Araujo,
both players are back.
Yes. Now that is, and then the other problem is that there were requirements that they were meant to fulfill, which they didn't. So like in terms of finances. And Laporte has been selling, is the prime definition of Jacob Aniso. He's been selling his bet rights. He's been selling Barcelona's children's bet rights. Because as it stands now, Barcelona is looking to sell their VIP tickets,
2
VIP seats,
2 VIP seats for
VIP seats in a stadium that is not ready. Do you understand?
It's financial engineering anyway.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, at this point, it's like you're running out of skelter,
They
but
should
like
just sell
at
Frenkie
what?
de Jong to Manchester United.
But what does that
don't
really
want
do
to
for
get-
them?
You know, this is part time.
What does that?
His wage.
We don't want
His
again. I'm doing Shakara now.
I know his wage is an issue.
So whatever Barcelona do now, they're just trying to cook their books.
Yeah,
Whatever they do.
that's all they are doing.
Whatever
now.
they do, they're trying to cook
Now, so they have 2 options. Barcelona currently have 2 options. As it stands, Dani Olmo is not registered. So now they can decide to go on the personal term with the player to cancel his contract for 6 months, then re-register him during the summer transfer.
What's going to happen?
What's going to happen?
in 6 months?
No, he
Loan him
can
out.
register for that.
No, they should loan him out.
He can
If
actually
he cancel his contract.
Now-
If he cancel his contract,
You
he
don't
can't.
have
No, they should loan him out now.
Let me explain.
I
I said this situation is so bad that like it is horrible, and it makes sense because I was looking at apparently 2 of Barcelona's directors out of the 20 have resigned. The first one was the chief executive that resigned in 2022 when the whole fuckery started. The second one was the economic vice president. Now, these positions have not been replaced, and Laporta has been the one overseeing these positions by himself. So he's just digging a hole for himself continuously. Looking back in hindsight, Dani Olmo was not worth the stress. I mean, don't get me wrong, he came through for Barcelona. Yeah. But it's not worth the stress because as it stands, Barcelona is about to forfeit £51 million for the player that he bought. They also have to pay him till 2030, even if he ends up playing for another team. The only thing that's saving them now is that Olmo is enjoying his time. He's focused on the football and he's enjoying his time there. So he's not even making talks about moving and everything. But as it stands, Arsenal, they've already contacted his agent. Arsenal has some other teams in the Premier League.
That's probably what will get them out of the mess. So if Olmo gets to somewhere that he can play at a similar level at Barcelona, he will willingly cancel the contract.
No doubt.
He just wants to play football.
Yes.
If it's someone that is not exactly a good player, not a great player, that will not have suitable replacements, the guy is going to sit there and say, you know what, you pay me to 2030, whenever you can play me, I will play. I mean, it doesn't help that he's still relatively young. Mm-hmm. I mean, he still has a long career, so he cannot afford to tank it. But at some point, clubs should be made to pay for financial irresponsibility.
Yes. Exactly.
If this was happening in England, we'll have heard stories about administration or all of that.
Exactly. No time,
in Spain, they don't care. And it's mostly because it's Barcelona. It's one of the traditional names. They need Barcelona for their league to function. If not, we're looking at a potential monopoly, right? So I just look at it from the sense that at the end of the day, people will make compromises. Yeah. It might be La Liga, it might be Barcelona, but something has to give.
So now this is where the problem is. Like all things in life, when two or more humans are gathered, there's politics.
That's why I said compromises have to be.
Now, the issue is the president of La Liga currently is not letting go.
Nobody. What may I say?
Maybe he has a president. They've not met him.
As it stands,
it can be many things.
As it stands, Laporte has no friends.
No, but Tebas allowed it to get to this level. When they signed Rafinha for how much that they signed him, when they were signing these players, we knew they did not have money. We're hearing level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, like saying a level of game. Like it was getting annoying. Like you knew these people did not have money. Like it was obvious. And they kept signing 60 million what players.
You all know this.
They kept signing players. And you're asking yourself, how are people still signing players? Like, in my head, do you know that I think City did not even sign players in summer because of the charges, not because they didn't have money. And that's the club that is facing charges because they realize that if we keep spending money, it will cause problem for front.
Yeah.
But you don't even have money. And they keep signing players.
That's what it is at the end of the day. It's financial responsibility.
In hindsight,
they need to get punished properly for it. Like
who needs to get punished?
Barcelona, yes.
What about the officials that made it happen?
That's the problem. The officials
that's why they've not been punished.
That's why. So it's that's why the administrators are
police. You know, if you arrest police,
yes, no.
You understand?
That's what it's about.
How they keep signing no, they were chasing somebody recently, another winger. I saw them chasing another winger again.
They're always chasing everybody.
And I'm wondering, how are you? Was it Leah or someone? How are you chasing somebody like that when you don't even have money? You can't register the people that you already have. Like how?
No, and aside from that, I think the bigger conversation here that I'm looking at is looking like there's a big trouble for their president, Laporte. Like there's a massive trouble because now you see the club.
We do jail now. We do jail.
So it will be third successive president to go to jail.
Don't worry.
So now these things, like if you break it down, there are so many field. Like I'm not a Barcelona fan, thank God. I mean, it's not like I'm a Man U fan. Not like that's even better. But anyways.
This is working.
Like this guy's regime since he entered I think it was voted in 2021, 2022. He's been filled with.
He was one that cancelled Messi contract for me.
Yeah, it's unfulfilled promises.
Yes,
you let Messi go. No, but your stadium, the stadium wasn't completed in time.
Have you seen that Messi's contract?
It was a lot. It was Bartomeu that let together.
Have you seen that Messi's contract? Even Messi said why?
Even
Messi why?
You know now.
Messi why?
Now moving on to the next conversation, I want us to dissect a few things. I can see that Tayo is wearing his Sporting Lagos jersey, so we'll save the NLL conversation for the second half. I want us to bring a conversation back since we're talking about players and transfer window and outstanding form. Let's talk about Mohamed Salah and the fantastic season. Guy, guess what? Bamji, how many points do you have this week on FPL?
Do you mean currently at total.
No, just this point. Yeah, just last week. Yeah.
All right,
Amos or Samuel
I
Diame.
was able to amass total of 75 points.
I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you.
I got 99. Thank you. Anyway, Sha, the reason why I said this.
Sorry, that's not the end of this.
No, it's okay.
Where are you?
Hey! Off your mic.
No idea about this one.
This is how Bamji just did brag. I just look up. Now, the reason I was able to do that is because of Mohamed Salah. I'll be honest with you guys, I hadn't changed my team in 2 weeks. So me waking up to try and do formation and see it, or saying that, okay, I captained Salah, so he gave me about 20-something points for his performance in his last game. And now Salah is still teasing that this is his last year in Liverpool. What's the future saying for Mohamed Salah right now?
I think he has looked at Liverpool's a stingy club. I think he has looked at their wage structure, and he's Arab. I don't know. I think he might want to go towards that side of the world. We don't know yet.
But it's another concerning part is that I don't see clubs making offers for him.
No.
That is a bit
So
weird.
now you know that
Everybody expects him to sign.
Yeah, exactly. And again, if he doesn't sign, he'll be free. He's going to come with a
So it's a win-win.
A hefty sign on. See, whoever I go to get him, we almost pay him a transfer fee
Fair.
because teams will be scuttling
Left and right.
PSG might be thinking about, a lot of teams will be thinking about it. So you're going to pay him a hefty sign on fee. So he's in a good place.
Speaking of PSG, if you were Salah's agent or manager, where would you put him? Like, where would you take him to?
I go to Saudi Arabia.
I'll go to Saudi.
I go to Saudi
Saudi.
Arabia.
Is that you renew a good Saudi?
Liverpool have been irresponsible.
How old is Salah?
32 or 33?
33. Liverpool have been
That would be
very
very odd, though. I mean, I know players go to Saudi when they're probably
Pension.
exactly, but
Is it really
this
pressure?
would probably be like the best player in the world.
If he-
First time the best player in the world at the moment.
If he wins the league with Liverpool, he should go to Saudi.
Is it really pension? So I feel like Liverpool are very responsible. You have a core of your squad, right? If you look at Liverpool's squad from back to front, you probably call Alisson, Van Dijk, Trent, Salah. Right.
Three of
if
them.
you want to be magnanimous, you add Robertson to it, even
that
though
one's
like,
done.
yeah,
That one's
it's
done.
it's
That one's
done.
done.
Now, how do you put yourself in a position where 3 of these 4 people need contracts in this summer?
I haven't done anything about it.
And again, you've bought a goalkeeper to even replace the other one next year.
You replaced one, and the 3 of them, you left them to the last year of their contract. Now, what they're doing is they're trying to pocket watch. They're trying to see
Who gets
Arnold probably has the best bargaining chip because of his age, right? So
And then he's already linked
Salah
to
is
Real
probably
Madrid.
waiting for give me 350. Then give
give
Salah
400.
350. Van Dijk knows I'll get maybe like 300.
Yeah.
Then Trent is like, I'm going to be here longer than both of them. You give me 400.
Don't somebody already earn 350 in that team?
No, it's probably Salah.
Salah already earns 350 in that
It's
team.
probably Salah or Van Dijk that's there.
Then
or something.
somebody earns 350 in that team already.
So here's the thing. They're going to lose at least one of those 3 guys this summer, no matter whatever
At least 2.
measures.
At least
no,
2.
they might get lucky.
At least 2.
I think Van Dijk will stay.
I think Van Dijk stays. Exactly. I think Van Dijk stays.
I also think that
I think Trent and Salah will leave.
I think Trent is gone.
Trent is gone.
I think Trent.
The way he acts, his body language.
No,
so
because it is Madrid. And Madrid are thieves.
Yeah.
They will help Rudiger, Alaba. Madrid know that you want to play for Madrid. And so they are not stressing themselves. They will offer peanuts in January. If you don't collect, don't worry. We'll tell him that he should wait. We'll give him the sign-on fee in summer, and he'll move to Madrid.
So
He has one everything to win in Liverpool.
except Madrid is going to be very brutal because I was looking at where they fit into the squad. Cavani's out for the season. It's probably going to come back later in the season. Are they going to terminate his contract because it's potentially going to be club captain, right? With Modric leaving. So I'm just looking at. Trent is Trent. You cannot deny quality.
Yeah.
It should be a
So
starter.
I think
anywhere
the
he
club
goes.
captain will be Fedi already. It seems like Valverde is.
No.
Feels like Valverde.
Modric, Cavani.
Yeah, no, but I said like right now.
Yeah,
look at that
but to be
squad.
fair, they've been grooming Valverde
for that
role. But anyway, Sha,
Yeah.
thank you guys very much. This brings us to the first half of the first show of the 2025
Vasquez.
year. Or if I don't think you have any...
No. It's
We'll
captaincy, Madrid captaincy.
You know, we'll talk about
Vasquez as the
we'll
captain.
talk about breakdown. We'll talk about breakdown. Anyway, like I said, this is the Sports Lounge where we embody the lifestyle, spirit, and banter of sports fans all over. When we get back, we're going to go into the local realm. We're going to talk about the Nigerian Professional Football League, the Nigerian National League. As like I said earlier, Taya is wearing his Sporting Lagos jersey and he's going to sub me off. Then we're also going to talk about the Fantasy Premier League and how Bamiji that did not pass me this week give us tips. And then we're also going to drop predictions about the Fiorentina-Napoli game that's coming up soon, the Liverpool-Manchester United. Let me just take my own prediction now before we go. Liverpool is going to be Manchester United and they are going to score. The game is going to be Liverpool win and over 2.5. Fiorentina and Napoli is going to be both teams to score. Thank Thank you very much. This is the Sports Lounge. Don't change the channel.
It's great to have you back. I see you rocking the Sporting Lagos. You're ready for the new season already.
Well, Sporting Lagos started on a good note. 4-0. We're steamrolling every team this NNL. Back to the MPFL. Let's go.
So let's just start on that note. And since we're already talking about Sporting Lagos and the NNL, as a Sporting Lagos fan, is that the expectation, the realistic expectation that immediate comeback into the MPFL, considering the fact that they've obviously gone through a new method of saying, no, we're not going to be signing players on loan anymore. We're going to pick three. We left 3 players from the last squad. I think Aliyu, Jamil, and
I think it was just those two. It was just those two.
Exactly. So it's obviously a new structure, a new system where we're going to leave 2 key players that we thought were important for us, and we're going to bring in young players from our academy and into the first team. So do you feel it's realistic to? Because one thing Sporting Lagos fans didn't give the club a chance was the fact that we came into the MPFL like expect them should go for the league. We made the most noise and everything, but what's the realistic expectation this season?
I don't see why we should have given. Personally, I don't see why we should have given the club much room. I mean, Ikorodu is then the top 5 at the moment, and they just got promoted as well. So, and with the performance of the club at the NS8, amongst the big boys of the MPFL, we showed that we could match them, we could compete. There was money on the line. There's nothing like preseason once money is on the line in Nigeria here.
Okay.
So we showed that we could compete. Even in games when the season actually started, before a disastrous mid-season slump, we showed that we could play and stay with the big boys. But the slump happened and then we just never recovered. Expectations going into this season, with the recruitment, with what we've played in the NNL before, we know what to expect. With the quality we've seen from our academy boys, Mukhtar, Sheun, Yusuf, and then with a couple of new signings. And the most impressive part about these newer signings have been their youthful energy. Even seeing the first game of the season against Solution FC, who all they came to find was problems in Lagos. Nice. Sadiq was impressive. Abdullah was impressive. We have Harcourt was injured, so we had forgotten the new goalkeeper's name. But here as well, Kevin saved a very good free kick. So the expectation isn't just promotion. Outrightly win the NNL and then promotion, and possibly get one over our quiet neighbors, Ikorodu City and Inter Lagos in the FA Cup. So I think that's the expectation for basically every Sporting Lagos fan this season.
Brilliantly said. Just one last thing. There's a game against Gateway United on Sunday. Who is that one player that any Sporting Lagos fan in Lagos should look forward to watching? In fact, I will even take this very seriously because if the person knows, I won't wear your shirt for stars.
Okay. I'll say they should look out for 3 things. Nobody's getting past Sadiq in the middle of the park.
Nadia.
No, I don't see. Yes, nobody's getting past Sadiq in the middle of the park.
Okay.
Then our goal threat will come from our left side, Odinaka and Sheun. Their combination right from the academy has been insane. They know each other. It's basically Marcelo and Ronaldo type similarity right now.
Okay.
Not in terms of their individual potentials, but how they understand
each other. You don't marry your mouth, don't sweet way. Marcelo and Ronaldo, okay.
Yeah, that's how much they understand each other. So, and the third thing, Abdullah is a gunman. He's a proper gunman. One chance, one goal.
I've heard that name a couple of times.
Yeah, he's a proper gunman.
All right, exciting times for Sporting Lagos fans. And if you're a Sporting Lagos fan, you need to just pull up to the Mobolaji Johnson Arena on Sunday to watch that game against Gateway United to start the season. We'll be graduating from the NNL to the MPFL. And we have our MPFL OG, Tommy. I thought we're hearing Alimi was the highest at a point.
At
Was it
a
last season?
point, yeah, I think
And it was just over 1M.
it was just on the over 1M. No, but in the past we've had players earn good money. In the past, isn't I was earning good money as goalkeeper in the past. But that was in the past. Right now, the club is the.
Everyone was doing that. Everyone was doing that based on longevity merchant.
Yeah.
He had earned, like he had paid his dues.
They paid his dues, yeah.
So over time, it made sense that he was earning that
so
high.
it's just sad. As I always quote Godwin Akena, our dear chairman, he said the government doesn't have business doing business in sports,
I
and
agree.
so far we continue doing that. So far, states keep paying salaries of players, and players' salaries in state budget. So far, we keep having these kind of things, and players getting owed by the state and stuff like that. We cannot move on. A particular player, I won't call his name, in a private club in Nigeria that got relegated last season, said the reason why he did not move is because his salary is never owed, and he's playing in NNL this season. You guys know the player I'm talking about. And he said, why will I move when everything is fine for me? And he has represented Nigeria under 20 before. But he's like, I get paid when I'm supposed to be paid. The fans love me here. I'm fine and I'm not going anywhere. How many players can say that in this government-owned clubs? Maybe a few. They will give them 100 million today. They will still be using sellotape to write on the back of players. We can only just cry. The most stable team is Remo, a privately owned team. I mean, Remo has, we said this here. We've been saying here for the last 1 month. Remo has changed almost 5 or 6 of their players in their first 11 every season. Now, the best right back in Africa, the best right back in the continent, as we speak, locally in the continent, is about to move to where? Sadiq Ismail is about to move to where?
Albania.
Why? To go and do what there? Which ball are they playing? Albania?
It's
playing
it's also beyond.
He's supposed
I
to
think
be in
it's
Chan.
beyond.
He's supposed to
the
be in
league.
Chan now.
Yeah.
Because of that move, he will miss the Chan.
Oh, what would Chan do for
I think it's
Because
no. It's not just.
Once he misses the Chan, he goes to Albania. He will not get a chance to play for a Super Eagles from Albania. It's easier to play for Super Eagles from Remo. Like people Super Eagles from Albania. If I've been fact check.
But it's not just a league thing at this point.
You're missing something, but don't worry, go on.
Yeah, I think it's beyond government and beyond the league. Their salaries are pegged in what naira?
Yes, no, definitely.
If Izen was any 1M in naira in 2000 and what? 2010, 2011.
That's like 300k now.
His salary is worth more than what Alim is collecting now.
True.
And unfortunately, they are moving to clubs where their salaries are pegged in euros. Nothing. If Nigeria's currency falls, even better for them.
True.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the
that's
more
very
unfortunate parts
Economic.
for Nigerian clubs. The fact that, okay, yes, the country itself isn't doing well. Even if everything was privately owned, the country itself is not doing well. Except they start earning revenue in dollars in terms of foreign TV rights and whatnot. The money will still, that type of money will still not trickle down to the players. So it's just, there's too much dysfunction in too many parts.
So, can I quickly chip in?
Sure. Why not?
So, here's the thing. I feel like in Nigeria, we're not intentional about a lot of things.
Yes.
Right,
What?
let's start from there. Now, the people that run sports are not aliens. They're not machines. They're not robots. It's humans, right? And we have a people problem in this country.
True.
That's one. Number two, we also have a maintenance culture problem in this country. We do great things. Nigerians do great things everywhere in the world, right?
Wait, sorry. Lack of intentionality and lack of maintenance. Nigeria sounds like Igbo woman. No. Go on.
Please.
Sorry.
No Igbo woman slander in
I'm
this
sorry.
place.
I'm sorry.
Do you know Igbo woman slander in this place? Please.
I'm sorry.
Respect Adora.
Please go on.
Thank you.
So we do great things. We achieve great things everywhere in the world, right? In certain instances. Now, to create replicas of that is where we have a problem.
Yeah.
Now, we always talk about, maybe it's not even a Nigerian problem. Maybe it's here and there, right? Now, if we say that we want people to stay in the league, then we have to be intentional about the league. What new initiatives have we done in the league in the last 5 years? Nothing really. I feel like the biggest
Nothing.
boom,
Three different league in the last 5 years.
The biggest boom that-
two different
different
league
leagues.
organizing bodies.
2 different names now.
So I feel like the biggest boom that we've gotten in the MPFL.
Where can I say today I'm going to watch MPFL and I'll watch a quality MPFL?
What else even
MPFL game.
Start times is bad.
Start times, but that's just
You know,
like
DStv
half the
used to
game.
show-
Yeah.
I mean, in 2016 or 17, I'm not sure which of the years, DStv was showing one game a weekend.
Yes, no.
Yeah, that was
I cannot say the reason why they stopped on air.
that was the
It doesn't look good on
that was the organizing body before this current law.
Anyway, let me just wrap up. So they've not done anything. They don't do anything for the league. They don't do anything for. So just expect that Nigeria is a football-loving country. Meanwhile, growth has to be organic, right? In England, most of the people that support certain teams were born in that area.
Yeah.
The team exists. People start to watch teams. They get attached to teams and all of that. In Nigeria, we just expect that a team is playing in this town, so you go and watch. Like there is no maybe. There are very few teams that have, maybe apart from up north, here in the south, where we have, should I say, more financial means to be able to like create revenue and sustainability of some sort.
Yeah.
There is no, maybe apart from the guys at Remo, maybe Shooting Stars too.
This guy coming back too has helped Enugu Rangers.
There's
Amobi.
very little sense of ownership,
Yeah, ownership, yeah.
from
This
the
is my
community
thing.
and all of that.
Yeah,
This is my
No,
thing.
yeah, like that's why I was just trying to give Amobi credit. He brought that sense back to
Back to
the
Enugu.
Cathedral
so
Boys.
It's
Like, he's
mostly
done a
people just
wonderful
assume
job there.
that, well, we have a team here, everybody come and watch the team. They don't go back, they don't try and create connections and all of that. And at the end, what will happen is, like in the instance of Sports Lagos went back down. A lot of people will not come and watch the games again, right? Some people will still see the games. When they come back up next season, or if they come back up next season,
What do you mean if?
it's a possibility now. Let's be serious. So if they come back up next season, some people that did not watch the NNL will come back and watch this. Meanwhile, because of like emotional attachments and all, some people go lower leagues, they travel around the country to see all those type of things. The country does not help. I cannot see myself saying I want to go to Akure to go and watch football. I will not do it. I love my life. Right? I will not do it. I went to Remo. I know some people went to Ibadan to see. So I didn't go for that one. So I like football. I will watch football. But we have to create an environment that can nurture these things. If we don't do that and we leave the whatever, even children have guardians, right? You don't just leave a child and say, grow on your own. You have to guide. You have to do certain things for the kid. And I feel like until we say that enough is enough, we want to actually grow football in this country. People will go to Yemen. People will go to Iraq. People will go
Libya.
to
Syria.
Libya.
people will go to all of those
Sudan.
countries because at the end of the day, those people look like they prioritize football growth more than we
I
do.
think this guy leaves Sporting Lagos to go to Ghana. Fernando.
Someone went to Rwanda.
Popoli. Yes, no.
Where did this guy go to?
One of the top scorers 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
That guy that left footer.
Wait, Odibo. Yes.
Odibo went to Rwanda.
Odibo went to
No,
Rwanda.
Rwanda. I thought it was Sudan.
It's one of those places, like,
He's in East Africa though. With Fernando is in
unpopular
Benin.
opinion, Sadiq Ismail's move is not a bad move. The club he went to is actually a very good club in Albania. They play in Europe. Yeah. I've seen that club a couple of times. Partizan is something. They play in Europe, either in the Conference League or so. If you have international exposure, it can get better for you, especially since we all know there's a good player. So if you can get going quickly, somebody else might buy him. His profile is
And
very good.
he actually does have a trick as opposed to regular fullbacks.
His profile is very good.
Our boy too is
His
going.
ball striking is
Our boy too is
insane.
going. This DM in our PR boy in Imba, Daga.
Dagger, yeah.
I think where's he going to self? Can't remember where he's going.
His own is still a little
Modi or
bit.
something like that.
One very-
I think it was
Yeah, he's going to Modi.
Oh, yeah. Really?
All right, the sad reality of our the state of the Nigerian Premier Football League continues to go on. But one place where there's no sadness at all is our FPL, where I continue to fly the name of the TSL crew. The first page of the
But the
TSL
first
FPL.
page is so bad.
I know. No, I'll need to give you kudos. Ifedato has done a great job from coming from the third page into the first page. He's done a great job actually. He's actually second now, according to people that come here to talk about football. But what we just do today is everyone we have a couple of minutes before the deadline is it. Just quickly think, what do you think people should captain this game week? Quick one.
There's only one answer, Salah.
Salah. Okay. That's the United fan telling you to captain Salah.
He's inevitable at this point.
told him to
And United is in this
When
club,
in
so why
doubt,
not?
Captain Pampas.
Pampas, okay.
Pampas.
I'm going to Captain.
Kopama against Crystal Palace away. Is that very good? Well, I know you don't play FPL, so maybe that's why you're picking.
Captain Pampas.
I'm Captain Haaland against West Ham.
Okay. Why that though? Why you're going to go against the majority definitely?
West Ham.
It's I just feel like it's
West Ham, yes.
It's West Ham, yeah.
It's West Ham. Yeah, it's West
Number
Ham.
one is West Ham.
They just collected 5 from
Created 5 from Liverpool, created 5 from Arsenal.
Yeah.
Away.
Yeah, so I feel number one is West Ham.
Actually, that's actually good.
Then number two. If Salah scores 5, everybody's going to enjoy it. Everybody's going to enjoy it. But just go away from the normal and hope that Haaland scores 6. So, I mean...
Valid point.
So before we go to my favorite segment of the show in recent weeks, let's just talk about the man of the moment in FPL. He's already amassed over 200 points December. It's insane because, I mean, like, we thought Salah has hit his best, but it seems like with Slot now, he's found a new level. And I don't know if it's the 4-2-3-1 that is helping him just, hit this new level. If I'll quickly come to you with that, you just quickly give us your thoughts on Mo Salah generally. And do you think if we go on like this, he's the best, he's going to win the Ballon d'Or and the Globe Soccer Award and the award that they create?
Nobody's touching Globe Soccer.
No?
I feel like...
He's not good enough to touch Globe Soccer.
I think for Salah, it's the benefit of keeping things simple. That's the best thing that Slot has done for Liverpool. Keep things simple. Last season or seasons past, because of their 2 formations, one on the ball, one off the ball, it's a lot easier to catch a couple of players out of position, with Trent being the main suspect because he was the one playing 2 different positions.
Exactly.
Now, everybody sticks to your position. We try and progress as a team and come back. So he's enjoying a lot of spontaneous actions and whatnot. And this is somebody that is probably one of the most efficient players that we've seen ever in terms of his direct contributions, end product. So for Salah, it's just, I'm back to what I know how to do best. I have a right back behind me. I don't have to bother about going back. I have midfielders that win the ball and give me the ball. I also have a striker that can do good interplay with and all of that. So it's just keeping things simple. For Ballon d'Or, is a different thing entirely. I always say because it is people that vote. If they don't like you, if they don't value what you do, and it might be an issue of aesthetics as well, they will not vote for you, no matter how good you are. So there's always that. I mean, there's a way you play. Nobody will be able to say anything.
Yeah, some years you are.
Do you understand? But that Ballon d'Or is a different conversation entirely. If he keeps this up till the end of the season, they will be having serious, especially if he has one of those big trophies to add to it, we'll be having serious conversations about.
So is this version of Salah better than 2017-18 Salah?
No.
She knows already. They never allow you to.
The guy. But I actually wanted to ask Fedot on something.
Answer my question.
I don't know. I'm not certain.
Wow.
See,
First time
married
sniper.
men.
Since he became married, he used to go out of the sniper. And he always eats the
You want to
point.
ask Madam first?
Let me talk to management. I'll get back.
I quickly ask him so that we can go play.
If he keeps this form, do you think he can also replicate it as his country level? I mean,
Quality around is different.
AFCON is coming
The
as close as
the quality around him is different. I think it would be very unfair to expect the same levels of productivity. In the bad Liverpool teams, his numbers dropped. They were still good, but they were not as high as when Liverpool were playing well. So if you have Trent, who is Egypt right back, you have Van Dijk, you have Alisson, you have Diaz, Gakpo, Gravenberch, the quality will drop. There's only so much he can do.
Nothing for the Egyptians then.
I mean, there's only so much he can do.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. It's been an amazing show so far. Well, now it's time for our player club game. And we've had 3 weeks of this. The first week, Ayobola took that one. Ifedotun is our current reigning champion. But we have
Setup.
2 new challengers now.
I'm in a very dangerous position.
We have 2 new challengers now to take. There's a twist now.
See,
One of Pop Central's finest, Abuga, has promised the winner of this particular one 50,000 naira. So the winner should get ready to. And also, another person has said that if you win, okay, no, let me keep this one. I'll keep this one for next week. But yeah, so we'll be starting. For those that don't know about the show, about this game rather. one person will call the name of a player. The next person is meant to call the club that player has played for before. The next person is meant to call a player from that club, and it keeps going on and on. Do you guys understand?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen it before. So, if I will be starting this time, there'll be a twist. We're going like this now.
Okay, no problem. We'll make it very easy.
All right.
Right. Very, very easy. So I start with Chelsea.
Gary Cahill.
Bolton.
Kevin Davies.
Let's see.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Kevin Davies played
4,
for West Ham.
3. We have a VL outstanding. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I know Nolan.
Are you sure about that?
Some of those guys moved. Don't worry.
Did Kevin Davies play for West Ham?
I know some of the Bolton's guys went, but it's possible.
I don't think Kevin Davies plays for West Ham. And if it also, our reigning champion might be eliminated in the first round. He didn't play for West Ham.
Sure.
If it also has been eliminated.
All right,
Toby. To start again. With a player or a club.
Verge.
Leicester.
And the King.
Oh man, club.
10, 9, 8,
Oh man, club.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Fulham.
And the King did not play for Fulham.
No,
VAR is
that guy
checked.
is mostly one.
And the King did not play for Fulham. He didn't play for Fulham. And Toby has been eliminated. See, all my haters, Vema, I made it to the final. You said I will not make it. I made it to the final. And I'm here with our married man to wrap up the show. Tommy, tell your start.
Cantona.
Manchester United.
Kanchelskis. Kanchelskis.
Don't forget, don't worry.
Actually,
Did he play in United all through his life?
no, he did not.
Forget, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Time. 10, 9, 8.
Kanchelski. What's his first name?
Andrej. Like an A-N-D-R-E-I-G-H.
Alaye, don't worry.
E-I-G.
Vema, watch him. He has lost.
Congratulations to Tayo for this one.
You sabi call and the King. You sabi call and the King. You sabi call and the King.
Bounty was going to do something nasty to me. I had to do it first.
A big congrats to Tayo for winning that one. Interesting game. So you're the winning champion, and the target eye is on you. Target eye is on you. So thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us up until now. I'll be back again next week. Until then, stay jiggy.